Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine and say hello to Rocco.
Hi, Rocco Gibson here.
Recording artist, chef, yoga instructor, and he's showing us how to start the day on a positive note. And while we're hanging out with Rocco, get ready for a dose of healthy vibes for mind, body, and spirit.
Black pepper. There we go. Bon appetit. I want to talk to you guys about a really interesting concept that comes from Eckhart Tolle. It's his concept of time. He states in A New Earth, and he also describes this in his other book, The Power of Now, that life appears to be billions and billions of moments. One moment you're here doing this, another moment you're doing that. He states that in actuality, there is only one moment. That's it. Not billions, one. And it's the moment that you are in now. Byron Katie says, later never comes. She also has that same philosophy. Tolle also states that if you can learn to train your mind to focus primarily on living in now and looking to the past only as something that you learn from, something that informs you of patterns to be aware of. You know, you have a friend who consistently asks you to borrow money. You're using that past to know not to give this person money. If you're worried about a future, something that's going to happen, you know, you have a bill that you have to pay. You know, you're worried about your utility bill. Maybe you can't pay that. You're worried about a future. You know, maybe you're worried that the electricity is going to be cut off. So that's an example of worrying about a future. So living in the now does not mean you don't pay your bills. It doesn't mean that you kind of let the waves of the world just take you over. If anything, you're even more active with what you do. You know, he also says that anything that you do consists of numerous steps, numerous small steps. The step that you're on now, that's what you are focused on. So let's just say you're really worried about paying that bill. Okay, well, this is what you do. Step number one, take your phone, look at your bank account. Step number two, go to your accounts page, see how much you have. Step number three, take steps to either pay that bill or what can you do? If the money is not there, okay, that's fine. What do you do? What is the step you can do now? You can call. You know, if it's the utility company, you can, if, for example, there's somebody who can help you out, you call that person. But the point is, you don't project into the future, because that gap, as he calls it, that's going to produce worry. The further away you are from the now, the more anxiety you're going to feel if you're worried about something that's going to happen in the future. If you're living in a past where, you had an amazing time, you're feeling, down because the fun is over, well, guess what? The further back in the past you are, the more sad, the more disappointed, the more depressed you're probably going to feel. So you come back to now through your breath, through listening to your inner body. That's how you stay anchored in the now. So as long as you're anchored in the now, you can consciously either pay your bill or plan for how you can work with the bill you can't pay, or you can now come to an acceptance that this is where you are now and maybe make plans to do what you did before. Byron Katie says there's not a lot of options in the center of fear where, right here, right now, that is where all of your power is. She says that as well. So it's just a very, very cool concept, and it's a really effective way to really live mindfully. And also, the more conscious you are, the less likely you will be to overeat, or if you really need to have food and you just don't really feel like eating, the more conscious you are, the more in tune with your body you will be. If, for example, there's a bad habit that you tend to do, if you tend to overspend, the more conscious you are, the more likely you will be able to catch yourself before you whip the credit card out. You become more conscious of your thoughts, of your patterns, and awareness just totally, it takes over in such a beautiful way. So I wanted to share that with you, and have a good one. Hello once again, guys. I am going to show you another beard styling video. I'm going to show you how I make it curly. Just a disclaimer, all guys have different types of hair, beard hair, facial hair, and like the hair on your head, sometimes, you can have hair that's straight, you can have hair that's curly, really curly. It's the same with beard hair. Mine, I was not blessed with a good head of hair. However, with beard hair, mine has the ability to be straight, mine has the ability to be wavy. I can do a lot with it, which is good. So this is actually leftover style from when I straightened it out. You can go a few days without actually styling it, or even shampooing it. Beard wash is what you use for that. I'm going to show you now how I curl it up. First thing I'm going to do is hop in the shower and give it a wash. I've shampooed with beard wash, I've dried off, I've towel dried. You'll already notice a difference in the texture. So, a couple of things that we're going to use. We're going to use the same product that we did the last time. This is the volumizer. It's known as Beard Boost Serum. But we're also going to use sea salt spray. This is from a brand called Beard Brand. Okay, so we have Wild Willie's, we have Beard Brand. I like to mix and match. But even before that, beard oil. What does beard oil do? Is it to shine up your beard? No, it's to moisturize the skin follicles so they don't start drying up. So, let's add a little bit of this. A little bit goes a long way. Like when you shampoo your scalp, oil up your scalp. And what the heck, you can add a little bit to the hair. Okay, remember how last video I twirled? This time we're not gonna do that because I want a nice curly beard and I want the mustache to be more straight and I want the sides of the mustache to blend in with the beard itself. Sorry, I dropped my lid there. Okay, next, let's add some volumizer. You're probably getting a deja vu. And let's add that to the ends. I'm not twirling, I'm literally pulling the sides straight out because we're gonna blend this in. Now, spray. Get everything. When this stuff dries, by the way, it's gonna hold like a hairspray. I know we used hairspray for the last video, but that was only to curl up the sides of the mustache. It wasn't to do anything else. Okay, so get the hands a wash. And remember how last time we used a we used this? We're not going to. We're only going to use this to comb the middle part of the mustache. We're going to comb it straight down to give it a neat look. we are going to use the hair dryer. Ready? So it's come along pretty well. We just want to add some last minute touches, some more volumizer. Shape the mustache so that it goes straight down. The ends here, which in the other video I was twirling up, I'm going to use my fingers to blend them in. Also, I'm shaping the curled beard. I'm pulling it down a little bit so it's not all like up like that. Use your fingers, shape it a little bit. And finally, for good measure, there you go. One last thing that I'm doing, I'm taking my fingers, they're a little wet. I am delicately scrunching up the very ends, giving them some love. Okay. Final thing I'm gonna do is this. Now, I know I said we weren't gonna use this, but we're just gonna do a final comb. You can use your beard comb for this too if you want. And a final fluff. Hey folks, I want to talk a little bit about crystals and what I feel that they do. So many people either in the yoga community or in really the mindfulness community believe in crystals and believe that certain crystals have healing properties. Anything you see has energy in it. If you look at, vibrating molecules and so forth, that is life. I have a whole collection. I believe that keeping a crystal on hand is, definitely a good thing. Many crystals, almost all of them, can increase the sense of serenity you can have. There's some crystals that can help you to feel more grounded. There's others that can help you to feel more spiritual. There's some that can help with your dreams, meaning your goals. Others with the dreams that you have at night, we're calling them. So I'm going to describe 3 crystals that I have around my neck. The first is pyrite. And pyrite is also known as fool's gold. It's good for abundance. It's good for helping to manifest, the small luxuries in your life. Ultimately, what it does for me, it brings out the abundance that I already have. Next, we have clear quartz, which just came off my band here, but I'll fix it. This has... it's clear, so it encompasses the vibrations of pretty much all of the other crystals. What it does is it helps to enhance the power of the crystal that it is next to or near. And by itself, it helps to raise your vibrational frequency, they say. In fact, a nice technique you can do, and you're going to want to do this by yourself, is take a clear quartz, place it at the top of your head, and just leave it there for a bit, and it will actually align all of your chakras. Very cool. And the other one that I have, which is, it's got flecks of green and gold and some red in here, but that's actually dragon's blood. And that's a really wild crystal, because what it does is it helps to boost up your courage, and it helps you to face your fears. It really does kind of bring out the dragon in you. For those of you who love Game of Thrones, Daenerys would be so proud and pleased at wearing this. I'm gonna show you just a little bit more about the crystal collection that I have. So I keep my crystals mainly in a spot where I do my work. I have to tell you, I don't recall all of the names of these, but we have, for example, chocolate calcite, that's good for grounding. We have celestite, which I wrote a song about, actually, that's on the Empath album. This is good for dream recall. We have another clear quartz, which is it's a vibrational frequency enhancer. We have apatite or appetite. I don't know the pronunciation, but this is something that actually curbs your appetite, believe it or not. This here, I don't recall the name, but it is, because of the color black in here, it's actually very protective and very grounding. So that's just an example of some of the crystals that I have. If you're interested in learning more about crystals, I encourage you to go on Google. I also encourage you to go to your nearest crystal shop. That's where you can purchase these. You can also purchase on Amazon as well. I personally like going into a shop because I feel the crystal actually calls you. And anybody who has experienced this before, you know what I'm talking about. And if it doesn't make sense to you, it's perfectly okay. Crystals are not for everyone, but I've been using crystals for a long, long time, and they definitely help to keep your zen on.